Christmas in the Acme Ballroom by Mabel Brown Stewart. Letter 3, Mom's Birthday. December 10th. Dear Miss Hatch, you know some people have said they don't think Sean is a cat, that he might be some other kind of animal, but that just doesn't make any sense to me. Of course he's a cat. I mean, what else could he be? Anyway, it stinks that auditions are on my mom's birthday, but she says she understands. She's going to celebrate with me tomorrow, and she's going out to dinner with Vic tonight. She seems really excited about her birthday. She's turning 60. Doesn't seem to bother her. Consider the alternative, she says. Good point. So after I have a bowl of mac and cheese, my favorite, my mom drives me to auditions. It's raining hard, and the windshield wipers are beating back and forth in a quick, panicky way, just like my heart. It's not helping me calm down. Mom has on a forest green velvet dress for her date with Vic. Her hair has been combed carefully, and I think she may have even used hairspray. This rain is going to turn my hair into a fright wig, Mom sighs. A plague upon this howling, I say. And Mom reaches over and, smiling, squeezes my arm. I'm so nervous. My teeth start to chatter as we pull up to the school. I'm not used to speaking in front of a group, and as you know, I'm not a great reader. I'm just slow is all. I understand what I read. It just takes me a little extra time, and sometimes I stutter a little bit, especially when I'm around new people. Mom finally told me it's all due to one of my chromosomes being a little off. You wouldn't think something so small would make such a big difference, but there you go. I pause at the main door to the school, and I think about whether I'm brave enough to walk into the building. I glance back at my mom, who is in her car waiting for me to go inside. I wave at her, and she gives me the fist bump gesture that's our secret sign. Team Stoll, she mouths. I nod, open the door, and go inside. Eleanor Stone is sitting at a folding table in the lobby of the theater. She has bright red hair tied back in a ponytail. She gives me a fierce look as I approach. Stage crew doesn't have to be here tonight, Maureen. I hate it when someone calls me Maureen. I'm Mo. Just Mo. I'm here to audition, I say, and my voice cracks a bit as I stutter. I still have my stutter, Miss Hatch, but only when I'm really stressed. I can't seem to control it sometimes. Really? She says, like she's disappointed, and then pauses. Okay, then, fill this out. She hands me a clipboard with an audition form and a pen. Give it to Henry when you're done. The form takes just a few seconds to complete since my only acting experience is dead body. I notice that some kids have printed resumes and big photos called headshots. Gulp. I follow the other kids into the auditorium. Mrs. Douglas is sitting in the second row, furiously writing on a pad. Henry, who is a senior and pretty much a shoo-in for the main role of Prospero, directs us to sit in a section on the right side of the theater. Everyone seems a little nervous, and I find that comforting in a way. Janice Ericott is one of the popular girls at Soggy U High. Her dad owns the big sawmill here in town, and so she has a bit more money than the rest of us. She always gets the part she wants. And she's a cheerleader. How do some people get so lucky? Janice played Elaine in Arsenic and Old Lace and got to wear that lavender suit I built. I'm not sure she really appreciated it. Lana, Janice's best friend, asks her, "Who do you want to play?" Janice answers, "Ariel, of course." Lana looks surprised. "Really? I thought you'd want to be Miranda." Janice sighs. "Oh, ingenues are so boring. I'm over it. I want something meatier. Ariel is such a fab part. I mean, she's a mystical spirit, right? Plus, I'll look great in the costume, too. I hear Ariel will be in tulle with tons of glitter." Lana giggles. "It's all about the costume, right?" Janice looks over at me. "So, Mo, what are you doing here? Are you doing research for costumes?" I swallow hard. No, I'm auditioning. Janice looks shocked. Really? Before I can answer, she's turned back to Lana and they're whispering. Great. Have I mentioned how much I hate gossip, especially when it's about me? Mrs. Douglas steps on stage. A few words about Mrs. Douglas. She's not super tall, but she's a force of nature, my mom's description. She wears very tailored clothes like pantsuits that fit her perfectly, and her blonde hair is tied up in a tight bun. Not to be mean or anything, but I think she might dye her hair. She wears bright red lipstick and lots of dark eyeliner, and she looks a little scary. It's almost like she doesn't want anyone to think of her as pretty because she's secretly a warrior or a ninja or something. She's kind of my hero. Mrs. Douglas clears her throat, and it's instantly so quiet. All you can hear is the rain pelting the roof. She's just one of those teachers that kids really listen to. She never yells, and yet everyone is a little afraid of her. Anyway, she begins speaking and gives us the rundown on the play. It was probably Shakespeare's last play, she tells us. She explains that Prospero is basically a wizard, and he and his daughter are marooned on an island. Prospero conjures up a storm to bring his enemies to the island, and the story goes on from there. I know the play pretty well already. My mom has this huge book called The Riverside Shakespeare, and it has all of Shakespeare's plays in it. I read every word of The Tempest out loud to myself, and then, just to be sure, I watched a couple of videos on YouTube. Mrs. Douglas instructs us to bring magic to the stage, and then auditions begin. One by one, each of us has to go on stage and read a monologue we've selected from the play. I feel my heart sink because my monologue is exactly the same as Janice's. Ariel's description of the shipwreck from Act 1, Scene 2. Janice reads the monologue pretty well, I think. Jamal, who is this tall kid with a goofy sense of humor, gets up on stage and sings a song which seems to be about people mispronouncing the word tomato. He's fearless and hilarious. I never have the guts to do that. Mrs. D stops him. Jamal, this is Shakespeare, remember? Oh, right, he sighs and smiles. Then he delivers an amazing monologue as Caliban. He's suddenly filled with anger as he says, "This island's mine by Sycorax, my mother." He's totally believable, which is the goal, of course. I'm the last one called, and I walk slowly up on stage. I only get a few words out before Mrs. Douglas interrupts me. Mo, a bit louder, please. Project. I begin again. Oh man, my throat is dry. When I get to the part where Ariel says, "In every cabin I flamed amazement," there is a blinding flash of lightning followed by a booming clap of thunder. It's so loud that the building rattles. Everyone gasps and the power goes out. After a few seconds of darkness, the emergency lights click on, and I stand there not knowing what to do. Mrs. Douglas says, "Keep going, Mo. Mother Nature's just providing you with some special effects. She must approve of your reading." Everyone giggles a little, and I finish my monologue. The moment I finish, and I do mean the moment, the power comes back on. All the kids except Janice applaud. As I make my way to my seat, Henry touches my arm. "That was epic," he whispers. "You must really be magic." My head is swirling. Still no Sean, though. Thanks for listening. Mo.